Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Fucking good, man. That's fucking good. If you guys haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. We gotta get the likes up, guys. I think it's partially because I don't ask ever. I think it's partially because I don't ask ever. But we got to get them up, guys. We got to get them up. So like the stream. I had last night. I ate dinner by myself at a restaurant. I don't think that's something that's weird at all. Ate dinner at a restaurant. But it might be a little bit weird where I ate at. I ate at a pizza buffet by myself. But the reason why I did it, it's a local pizza place. Mama's Pizza. Delicious. Fucking love it. Was in the area. Never eat over there anymore. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get it. I'm going to order some pizza from this place. Got on, their website was messed up. So I was like, all right. So I was like, all right. You know what? I'm just going to go in. And fucked it up. Is there any context? I've seen this clip. Again, I'm not a footy fan. I'm not a footy fan. But is there any context I'm missing to this absolutely batshit insane clip I've seen?
C'est twerker?
Non.
Ok, alors on a choisi c'est twerker.
So she's the first woman ever. All right, how do you pronounce this? I've always mispronounced it. Ballon d'Or? Is that how you pronounce it? Ballon d'Or, Ballon d'Or. She's the first woman Ballon d'Or. How do you pronounce that? Ballon d'Or winner. Dior. And she goes on stage and someone immediately asks, "Do you know twerking?"
C'est twerker?
Non.
C'est twerker? C'est twerker?
What? What is this? Do you know twerking? No, this was... Was this not a couple days ago? Is there a context I'm missing behind this? Do you know the twerking? I saw that clip and my jaw was on the floor. I could not believe it. That was the first one? Ah. Okay. Got it.
Non.
It's still insanely bizarre. One of the more bizarre things I've ever seen. Another one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. I've been absolutely obsessed with this video. Absolutely obsessed with this video. I can't play it. I can't play the audio because the song is almost certainly no, the song's almost certainly going to copyright strike. This advertisement for the latest 911 episode. Here, I can dub it. I can dub it for you. What the heck is that? These angels up in the clouds are jealous. No, oh my God. Something so loud. Everybody, take cover. The ordinary. You got me hurt. 18. Brace for impact. The extraordinary. We're now extraordinary. Oh. No, you know what? I actually love it. I love it. I love when shows like this are just like, yeah, fuck it. Whatever. Whatever. I saw another clip, and I've never seen a singular second from this show. Is this the show that Rob Lowe was on? I've never seen a single second of this show. I saw a tweet yesterday that a new storyline has one of the members of the cast going into space. Keep in mind, these are first responders in Los Angeles. No, these aren't like Navy SEALs. These aren't, secret X-Force agents. They are first responders in Los Angeles, and they are fighting meteor showers. Everybody, take cover of my sanctuary. Everybody, take cover. I'm not joking. That's literally exactly. If you haven't watched it, that's literally exactly how it sounds. Everybody, take cover. It's the same show that Rob Lowe caves the frozen guy's chest in. Is he not on the show anymore? Has he moved on to bigger and better things? Has Rob Lowe moved on? That's a shame if so. It really is. She shot him into the sun? They shot him into the sun. Is that true? That can't be fucking true. Rob Lowe 911. Rob Lowe hints fans have not seen the last of 911 Lone Star. Oh, wait, there's another spinoff. Wait, how many spinoffs of this fucking show are there? Will Rob Lowe return to the 911 universe? Wait a second. 911 universe. Okay, well, now I'm interested. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, not to be confused with Rescue 911. That's an old show. 911 franchise. Oh my God, they have 3 different spin-off shows. What is Dr. Odyssey? Dr. Odyssey is an American medical drama television series that ran on ABC. The season was canceled. What? Max, a new doctor on board a luxury cruise ship, and his small but capable team handle unique medical cases. Dude, once one of these shows hits for a network, it's over and done with. How many NCIS shows are there at this point? Yeah, are we gonna get like a Universes Collide episode? Oh, I've seen okay. Now I've seen ads for this 911 Nashville. I've seen ads. Okay, I've seen it anytime watching the NFL. They run these about 1 million times. 911. 118. Brace for impact. Don't worry, guys. They're gonna save us from a fucking meteor. They're gonna save us from a meteor shower, guys. All right, let's get into it today. Oh, wait, I wanted to talk about something else too. Oh, yeah. All right, real quick, one thing. Jayson Tatum says he thought about giving up basketball and retiring after his Achilles injury. It may sound dramatic, but I remember telling my mom, like, Mom, I might be done. I don't know if I'll be able to overcome this or if I'm up for this challenge, you know? I just felt defeated. And there was a time I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And people were, you know, replying. The worst, most annoying people you know on Twitter were getting their horrible, god-awful jokes off at this. And look, I know Tatum is a corny individual. He absolutely is. No two ways around it. Anyone who's ever suffered a serious injury knows that you go to horrible places mentally. I mean, this isn't, you know, I guarantee you almost everyone probably feels the same thing. That's just the truth. Especially once the initial sort of like, all right, I got to toughen this shit out. Little phase ends. That's true. It's not like he broke his ankle. It's not like he broke his ankle, right? The broken ankle is way worse than an Achilles tear. Everyone knows that. But dude, when you start the recovery process, and look, I'm gonna empathize here with Jayson Tatum because I'm literally going through a very similar thing right this second. There was a time I actually thought, and I'm knocking on wood here, I actually thought I was never going to walk again. That thought creeped into my head at one point. Where I was like, what if I just can never walk again? Like, well, what? Like, it's just going to happen to me. So, like, I don't know. It's one of the worst injuries you can suffer. That's crazy. There was 3 ACL tears in the playoffs, all by like big players too. It's just crazy that happened. Have we gotten any, what is this thing? The badges, I think, look so ugly. Profit X, America's #1 sports prediction market. Ugh, so ugly. Why is it like, why do like these gambling sites and stuff have the ugliest logos and stuff? All of them even wearing 0? Wait, that actually, I never even really thought of that. Minimalist art. I just think the badge system looks horrible. Like Kevin Durant's, I don't even know what this is. Boardroom. But like, you know what I mean? I don't even know what that is. It looks like it could be like Barnes and Noble even. LeBron James and Maverick Carter are reportedly assembling a group of investors to launch a basketball league that would compete with the NBA. They don't want it to be a U.S. league. They want it to have a European flavor. Ooh. Has this not been a widely known thing? This has been an ongoing thing, hasn't it? Yeah, they want to do something similar to like Unrivaled. Yeah, I don't know. European flavor? What are we talking about? British flavor? I mean, Jesus Christ. Not a lot going on flavor-wise there. They want to make a Formula One type format where it travels city to city. I mean, it could be interesting. If you guys are in here and you haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. Helps me out tremendously. Let's you two know we're having a great time, of which we are. We're about to dive deep into our actual talking points today, but we're just giving NBA Central a quick little scroll. You know, things are starting to heat up. Media day has started for some teams. Wagner basketball coach Donald Copeland is under investigation for mistreating players and verbally abusing them. He allegedly called a player a pussy. Really? A bitch, a punk, a vagina. All right. Really? I guess I'd have to see the context. He also allegedly told another player, if you're thirsty, swallow your spit. After finding a hidden Gatorade bottle, he told players, you're all going to run until the Gatorade is out of his belly. All right, so I will say this. I never understood the withholding water thing coaches can do. Pussy? Calling someone a pussy is not, as a coach. You guys are being pussies. Go watch my NBA 2K GM series. Right? We won 12 rings. And you guys know. You guys know how I was talking to our players. The withholding water thing is training you not to drink as much when you're playing. Yeah, but you do, though. Like, there's stoppages and you drink water. You stay very hydrated over the course of a game. I don't really... Man, I was in 7th grade playing football in Texas summer. Texas summer, we would start our little 7th grade training camp. Fucking 12 years old. It's 110 degrees outside. They wouldn't let us drink water. I'm like, man, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? This is the dumbest shit. And then, unfortunately, somebody a couple grades ahead of me at the school I went to died, had cardiac arrest during a practice. And I think they found it was just like a really unfortunate thing. He had an underlying condition. It wasn't like because he was practicing too hard. It was just a freak thing. But then they really cracked down on that stuff. But it was like, dude, they made us drink out of, what are those things called? It's like the little hose thing, but it has like holes poked in it, so it comes out. And we only had like 2 over the course of like a 2-hour practice. The cows, yeah, whatever. Just insane to look back on now. Like, why? Especially in football. Like, maybe in soccer or basketball, I could kind of get like, hey guys, you're not going to be able to just stop and drink water whenever you want. So we need to get your bodies used to that. Football, it's like, dude, you have the whole game. Like, you have the whole game. You're out there for like 5 total minutes combined. You got the whole game to drink water. Head coaches turning into military generals. What, dude, I am so serious. Why do we see so much Patrick Beverley shit? He's 100%. They're 100%. Well, okay, let me see. Okay. Barstool. Yep. Makes all the sense in the world. Makes all the sense in the world. Okay, I was about to say, they're definitely paying NBA Central and all these aggregator accounts to constantly, and I mean constantly, tweet out Patrick Beverley stuff. Because, like, dude, I could not care less. And we just get every quote from his fucking podcast. I was probably the best defensive guard in the NBA. We don't fucking care, man. Why is this on here? We don't give a shit at all. Okay? We don't give a shit. Here's the Kyrie Irving tweet that's going around. I guess I don't... What are we? We're about 6 months removed from the ACL tear. And he does look good. I guess I don't know what the typical timeline is for something like this. So I can't say with any... I can't say with any certainty, like, oh, he looks way ahead of schedule. There are reports going around that he's ahead of schedule, but you hear that every time someone's recovering from an injury. So I'm still waiting to see. Back for Christmas game. I want them to take it cautious with him. You know, they just signed him to a new contract. He's getting up there in age. Rushing him back a couple months early in a season like this just feels pointless. But as long as Kyrie feels good, like if Kyrie feels like he's ready to go, I mean, of course he's going to feel like he's ready to go. I'm going to skip past some of the top 100 stuff because I want to look at that in more detail. And I've seen a couple of rankings. JaVale McGee lists his all-time Warriors starting five: Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, Draymond Green, JaVale McGee. Okay. Wilt or JaVale McGee? Pisses me off that Pat Bev's going to take credit when Trey and the Hawks have a great season. This show was hilarious to me. One, Zion does look really good. I mean, especially compared to Media Day last year, Zion does look good, but we'll see if he stays healthy. I mean, that's just... I will say this picture is like maybe a little misleading because the way the shadows are makes his arms look a little bit skinnier than they are. Who is worse, Luka body watchers or Zion watchers? Definitely Luka. But I'm rooting for a healthy Zion season as well. I mean, I think it'd be really good for basketball. The National Basketball League in Australia has expressed interest in bringing in Ben Simmons. That would be nice. I'm not going to say what would have happened, but just know I've been down 3-2 on the road 3 times in my career, and I was 3-0. Michael Porter Jr. says he doesn't know how much longer he wants to play and plans to take it year by year. MPJ says he splits rent with his ex-girlfriend. Why are we getting so much Michael Porter Jr. content as well? I just don't fucking get it for the life of me, man. Ace Bailey's parting ways with Omar Cooper. That's actually hilarious. All right. Whoever was keeping MPJ quiet at the Nuggets deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. You know what I think it is, more than anything else? I'm just trying to put myself in the mind of MPJ and what I think he's thinking based off the small amount of things I've seen from him, and from that, trying to judge his character. I think he's thinking, I'm the guy in Brooklyn now. I'm the superstar of this team. So he's got a little bump. He's got like a little confidence bump, a little like, yeah, I'm the superstar of the Nets. Like, let me go out there and like, you know, I'm in New York now. Like, let me go strut my stuff, man. I'm gonna go on every podcast. Like, I'm the face of this team now. Mind you, ESPN on their graphic book, Nick Claxton. They had Nick Claxton as the face of the Nets. Mind you. I really don't know who I would have put for the Nets. I think I probably would have put Cam Thomas, but pre-back injury MPJ. I mean, what's the realistic ceiling for him? People do not know who Cam Thomas is. You think people know who Nick Claxton is? There is, I would say if you were to poll real casual viewers, but still people who watch, but real casual viewers, what percentage do you think would know who Nick Claxton is? You see what I'm saying? Why am I getting so much Michael Porter Jr. news? Michael Porter Jr. says he spends $250 a day on Uber. How is that even possible? How is that actually even possible? Especially in New York. Kevon Looney thinks he's too young to be considered an unk at 29. First and foremost, Kevon Looney's 29? Unk at 29. Hey, I agree with you there, brother. It's very possible in New York. $250 a day? Oh. Yeah, this is going to be a fiasco. Yeah, I've seen all I need to see. This is going to be an absolute fiasco. Oh, man. Oh, man. The Nets are going to be so horrible, man. '17th seed. They might get relegated. Can we get like the Barcelona and Real Madrid merging with the European NBA League sooner? They might get relegated. Do we think it's possible we get to a point where the European teams for that thing they're doing, see anti-Klay, anti-Kai Klay 2, Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson are collaborating on Anta shoes. The Kai 2 Klay colorway. Hell yeah, looks sick. Those actually do look pretty good. Still heard are the Kai 2s out or like available for purchase? I heard nothing but great things about the Kai 1s. Who's going to be your European NBA team? I don't know. I saw Manchester City's interested in making one. Arsenal. Come on. Let's get an Arsenal basketball club. I also briefly want to touch on this. It's a few days ago, but I saw a response to one of my tweets in here. Because I did quote this. Arsenal. I met a ton of Mavs fans, even after the lottery win in real life, that say the trade took the passion of basketball away from me. like a completely different world from Twitter. I keep seeing people say stuff like this. Am I on a different side of Twitter? I do not see the like positivity online ever. I see the literal exact opposite. So I quote tweeted this and said I was having complete and total opposite experience where everything I've experienced online has just been overwhelmingly negative. Where most of what I've experienced in person has, I wouldn't say been like necessarily positive, but it's been more so of like, yeah, I'm excited for Coop. Like, it'll be kind of fun to watch. I don't see the positive side of like the Mavericks online that people are claiming exists. I don't see it ever. Probably because your friends aren't whiny. I do wonder if there's, I mean, obviously it's all super anecdotal, but obviously the interest in the Mavs took a massive hit. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and argue that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I see like complete and total trolls online. I have seen huge trolls online. Most people I talk to in real life are actually still pretty out in the Mavs. Even my friends who's historically been the most positive Mavs fan ever. Yeah, I would say my friend group is still pretty solidly in on the Mavs. I would say I have one friend who says he's done with the Mavs and hates them, but he says that every year. So I like, no matter what, every time they lose a game, he says it. So I don't know how seriously to take him. There was one on here. Oh, this was one that made me go like, what? Twitter's not reflective of real life. Many of the big Mavs accounts have too much to lose by acknowledging this, so they pretend everything is normal. So I see like this sentiment online a bunch, and I myself have been accused several times of being paid by the fucking team, which is hilarious. Because if you've ever watched anything I've ever done, you would know how hilarious that idea is as a concept. But this idea like big Mavs accounts are like paid by the team or anything like that. Let me tell you this much, and I know this for certain, talking to people and being around it. I don't know if there's an organization, a sports organization that is less online than the Mavericks or less completely aware of what's going on online than the Dallas Mavericks. I'm telling you that right now. Right? I'm absolutely telling you that right now. And also I will say this idea of like the Mavs, like shitting all over the Mavs and poo-pooing the Mavs and crying every chance you get, from what I can gather, does much better in terms of like engagement, or I have too much to lose. Like that does much better than like trying to be positive about the team from my experience. Okay. But I know for certain when the Mavericks were trying to get a little bit more online, did they reach out to like local content creators? No, they did not. Did they reach out to like passionate, lifelong Mavs fans or anything like that? No, they did not. I know that when they tried to get a little bit more of a feel of what's going on in the online sphere, they hit up like Instagram influencers who have never been in Dallas, Texas and have never lived in Dallas, Texas and aren't even Dallas sports fans. I know this for certain that this happened. They are not online. They don't understand it fundamentally. I don't know why. I don't know if it's an organizational strategy. They just don't get it. So I promise you, like, they don't give a fuck what MFFL Nation is tweeting. All right? That's just the truth. They don't care at all. And also, I want to say this. I think this is an important thing to understand. If you are like a big enough Mavs fan to create a Twitter account that is completely and totally dedicated to the Mavericks, you're going to lean that person's going to lean positive. This whole like, dude, these big accounts can't. Dude, they're just diehard ass fans, man. They made a whole account about the Mavericks. Like, why is that surprising? They made a whole account dedicated to the team. Those guys are pretty unwavering, man. Like, that's just the truth. That is the other problem slightly. It's more training shot on the Mavs right now. I know. That's what I'm saying. And from what I like, when people are like, stop, all the people telling people how to stop being fans, I never see that. I see the complete and total opposite. People who are just so fucking annoying about people who are just trying to be positive or trying to at least have some like, yeah, I want like this team. I hope this team does good. Some people just can't get the concept of being a fan of a team and not a player. Well, I need to know what I'm missing online where there's like this positivity about the Mavs online. I never see it. I never, ever see it. Like, I don't see it anywhere. Anytime I'm like someone, I don't see it. Let me rephrase that. I don't see it anywhere where it's not a clear and obvious troll. Yeah, like the obvious, like clear and obvious trolls. And I'm going to tell you guys this much right now. If the Mavericks are good, you guys better hope the Mavericks aren't actually good this year. I'm going to be so insufferable. I'm going to be so insufferable if the Mavericks are good. So incredibly insufferable. It's going to be next to impossible to believe how insufferable I am. If you ever thought I was annoying before, oh, brother. Well, no, I don't like the hypocrisy when people are like, yeah, let people be fans how they want to be fans. Yeah, cool. I'm okay with that. I agree. Yeah, these big accounts have too much to lose by being positive about the team. It's like, aren't you contradicting yourself though? Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, why can't they just be positive about the team if they want to be? I mean, I don't really understand. Some people are just like, yeah, man, been a Mavs fan my whole life. Will continue to be one. And because I'm a fan of the team, I want them to be good. So, oh yeah, Mavs Reddit has just been horrible. The Mavs subreddit has just been horrid. Abhorrently terrible. And I mean, I feel like every team subreddit is typically god awful. I don't know if there's a more negative place in a team subreddit. I think every team subreddit is horrible. Is that not the case usually? Knicks subreddit is surprisingly positive. Well, but it's positive times for the Knicks though. I'm sure there's still. That's true. Actually, Twitter's got to be the most negative place. Twitter actually is like far and away the most negative place. Which again is what I'm saying. That's all I see on Twitter. I do not see the positive Mavs fans. I don't see them anywhere. Even like the ones I would call positive are like cautiously positive. what I would consider myself, where it's like, yep, the trade fucking sucked. But I'm excited to see Cooper Flag. Like that's like what I see. I do not see like the no, good trade. Again, unless it's a troll. I don't see these people existing anywhere. Lakers Twitter is worse than the Reddit? Well, yeah. I can't say I'm like never ever on Reddit. But anytime I have gone on there, I've looked at the Mavs one, and it is just a cry factory. And that is kind of what pisses me off, is it's like, dude, it's kind of what I was saying earlier. I think people get this dopamine hit because they know, all right, if I post this and it's me crying about the trade again for the 500th time, like if I do this, I know it'll get clicks and I know people will like it and we can all come in here like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And it's like a nice little like dopamine hit to get that. And it's just quick and easy. You see the national media doing it. It's quick and easy. Boom, quick, easy, shit on the Mavs. When everyone starts throwing out their preseason predictions, everyone's going to shit on the Mavs because it's quick and easy, right? Let's hope I get aggregated real quick. Just quick, easy, shit on the Mavericks. Because it's not like their own fan base is going to come to their defense. So it's a quick, easy score. And I'm telling you, again, so that we do Lakers content. I mean, I'll talk about them when I deem necessary. But I'm excited. I'm excited about Cooper Flag. We're like, what, less than 2 weeks away from the preseason tipping off for the Mavs. What post are you on right now? Oh. Everybody, take cover! I wish it didn't have a copyright song. Everybody, take cover! Seriously, how it sounds, too. Exactly how it sounds. Okay. Man, this one is brutal. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. What are some of like the most consequential preseason injuries? I remember the Klay one obviously is like the one that immediately pops into my head. Was the Klay one? Klay one was torn Achilles during the ACL recovery, wasn't it? Or was it the other way around? No, it was the tearing the Achilles, recovering from the ACL. This one's up there for pretty brutal ones. I mean, this is like, obviously, the NBA season always kind of comes down to who gets hurt, who doesn't get hurt, who's the healthiest, who's not the healthiest. There's always like one team that ends up sneaking in and is like way better than you expected. And then you kind of dive deeper into them. It's like, oh, well, they were like absurdly healthy all year long. Always at least one of those teams. And then, of course, you have at least I'd be interested to look at it. But on average, probably like 3-4 teams that are just destroyed by injuries and have their whole season fucked because of it, that were like expecting to be good. I think the Mavericks last year, the Sixers last year, just off the top of my head. But this one right here is one of the worst ones in a while, and one of the more consequential ones, because I do think I absolutely thought the Rockets were in a probably second tier contender tier, right? Like I think you'd have the Thunder kind of in a class on their own, personally speaking. That's what I think. Then I think you'd have like the Nuggets, Cavs, Knicks. And I think the Rockets honestly probably belong in that group. Truth be told, I really do. After this, no. After this, I think that they're out of that French contender status unless there's a trade out there for him. You look around, though, the type of guy Fred VanVleet is, the type of player he is, the kind of floor general, captain of the offense guy, gets you into your sets, can shoot threes. There's just not that many like obtainable guys on the market right now like that. Like I've seen Malik Monk. That's not Malik Monk's game. I've seen like Kobe White. That's not really Kobe White's game either. I did see Drew Holiday, which I actually thought was interesting. Drew Holiday is kind of an interesting one. I don't know if that's really his game either, to be honest with you. But this one's gonna hurt. This one's gonna hurt because they don't really have a replacement for him. It's a lot on Reed Shepherd's plate. It's a lot on Aaron Holiday's plate. Aaron Holiday is pretty solid as a player. Like this is gonna be a tough one. And I know, like, look, Fred VanVleet's numbers don't jump out at you at all. They're not eye-popping. In fact, they're pretty underwhelming. Like you see Fred VanVleet's numbers, 14 points a game, especially his efficiency. I mean, he was 37% from the field last year. 5.5 assists. Like his numbers don't pop out at you. 15% true shooting percentage, like 50-60 year before. However, they're just a much better team when he's on the floor because of what he's able to get them into offensively and how he is able to captain their ship offensively, right? Ever since he got to Houston, that's been the case. And, we quite literally saw a couple years ago, remember, before the Rockets went out and got Fred VanVleet, they were this lost puppy of a team. Obviously, they had Steven Silas, Mavs legend. Steven Silas was a disaster, but their roster was just full of these fucking children who just did not know how to play NBA basketball and did not know how to get to good sets offensively. They go out and they overpay for Fred VanVleet, giving him $40 million a year. And immediately they have a huge shift. And yeah, a lot of that had to do with Ime Udoka getting there and just some of their young guys continuing to get better, for sure. But it's not a coincidence that their offensive numbers are just way better when Fred was on the floor. Their half-court offense was way better when Fred was on the court. Fred VanVleet, huge, massive impact on their team. That's just the reality of the situation. Okay? So this one hurts badly. And I do think it knocks them down a tier. I do think it knocks him down a tier. Reed, in theory, is another Fred VanVleet with less experience but a better shooter. But he's not, like, what Fred VanVleet brought to the table is a 30-year-old floor general point guard. That's not what Reed Shepherd is. That's not even what Reed Shepherd, like, projects to be, really. Like, they'll let him, they're going to play him, and he's going to have a bigger role. But it's just not going to be what Fred does. I think more than anything else, probably, what ends up happening is you're going to, like, and what I think they probably should do. Well, yeah, Fred wasn't a floor general the way Rondo was, but Rondo was one of the better floor generals of the last, like, 20 years. What I think they probably should do is put the ball in Şengün's hands a little bit more and really use him as a hub. Like, really, really lean into Şengün's going to be our hub offensively. Which they do at times, don't get me wrong, but that would be, if I were a Rockets fan, that would be my hopes for what we end up seeing. Amen Thompson, ninth seed with Şengün as the offensive hub. Look, like that's not KD's game. Point him in. I like him in more like getting out and running and stuff. I like that. Can they turn like before a couple years ago? And they were kind of like this last year too, but it was kind of this like chaotic offense, but a lot of times like bad chaotic. Can they turn that into good chaotic offense? Like, hey, we're going to be great defensively. We're going to rack up the blocks and the steals, and we're going to rebound incredibly well with our size. Let's just be fucking demonic with our pace. No, KD cannot run the point. That's an absurd thing to think. Let's just be like absolutely chaotic. You grab a board, fucking fly down the court. Don't stop for anything. Şengün, you grab a board, let's push it. Let's get into our offense immediately. I want you to push the ball up the floor and get into something. Like, let's just be merchants of chaos. I wonder, what were they last year? They were they were like a league average transition team in terms of frequency. Yeah, they need to pump that up. Would be my gut reaction initially. Play with some serious pace. But I definitely think this hurts them in a serious way. Yeah, they can still get a guard. He earned the Osama bin Laden edits. Yeah, I know Fred did, but like anyone who actually watched them is able to recognize how important Fred VanVleet was for their team. I know he got the Osama bin Laden edits. Killian Hayes actually recently just signed with the Cavs a couple days ago, I think. And that's true. If this puts more pressure on KD, more of a burden on KD, yeah, that's a guy who's older and has been battling injuries now for years. I saw Russ. I don't think Russ makes any sense at all with their team. It's got to be somebody who can shoot. It's kind of like the same thing the Mavs had when they needed a ball handler. Which, like, yeah, these guys got to be able to shoot the ball, though. Like, whoever they get has to be able to at least shoot. Russ still isn't on a team, is he? Is Russ going to go play? Do we think Russ would ever play in Europe? Yeah, and they can't sign anyone. That's true. Zach Lowe and Ben Simmons were talking. Oh, Bill Simmons. We're talking about D. White to the Rockets. Huh. That would be interesting. Wait, so is Bill... I haven't listened to that podcast, I guess. Is Bill just like... Like the Celtics are going to tank this year? Paul with the $2. Westbrook minimum is $3 million. They can't pay. Yeah, I did see that. The most they can pay someone's what? Like $1.2 million, right? I threw out a Reed plus 27 Phoenix first for Austin Reeves trade last month. Reed Shepherd plus a Suns first and 27. My God, that feels like a haul. Celtics is retooling. Dude, losing Derek White, all of your bigs, Drew Holiday, that feels like closer to a teardown than it does than a retool. Like at that point, you might as well be fielding calls on Jaylen Brown. Jabari Smith for Reeves, who says no. Jabari Smith for Reeves. Probably the Lakers, right? I cannot wait to watch Jaylen Brown this upcoming season. I'm so interested. That's actually, I think, one of the most interesting players. They got a ring and new owners probably want to save money. Oh, yeah. They definitely want to save money, which they've done this year. But I'm saying, like, if it turns into... I mean, if you trade away Derek White, I don't know, even if Tatum comes back and looks good next year, what is that team? You know? Do you think Brown keep the Celtics afloat? No, I think the Celtics are going to be dreadful. I think the Celtics are going to be terrible. That's sort of my gut, my initial gut feeling. Yeah, their front court is just a mess. Jaylen Brown is the number one guy to me. The Celtics have no power forward or center on the roster. Reeks of 22-23 Mavs. What is their wait, hold on. What is their projected front court? Is because they got Chris Boucher, right? Is he going to be starting for them? No fucking way Luka Garza is starting. There is no world in which that can be true. Do you think they make trade immediately or wait till later in the season? I think they'll wait. I mean, it does give you an opportunity to be like, all right, let's see. Reed Shepherd, let's see it. Let's see what their depth chart is. Şengün. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong team. I was about to be like, what? Did I miss something? It's not as Kristaps Porzingis on here. My God, ESPN is fucking horrible. Jordan Walsh starting center. Yeah, it's probably Keita. You're probably right, which is still kind of gross. This has Chris Boucher and Keita. So what's their starting five going to be? Pritchard, I'm assuming, right? Are they gonna start Anthony Simons? What the fuck is their team gonna be? I'm looking at their roster. I'm trying to even figure out what their starting five will be. Pritch, White, JB, Trash Can. Yeah, so Pritchard or Simons, whoever it ends up being. It should probably be Pritchard. He's just better than Anthony Simons. Pritchard, D. White, Jaylen Brown. Do you go? They have Xavier Tillman on here, according to this. Do you go Hauser? Do you start Hauser? No, Horford's going to the Warriors. Okay, so Pritchard off the bench, fine. Simons, D. White, Jaylen Brown, Boucher, and Keita. Oh man, that team's horrible, dude. That team is terribly bad. I'm sorry, that team sucks. Like I've been saying this all summer, guys. Look at their team. That team sucks. That team's not. Oh, they could be a 5 seed. I see that. That team is fucking horrible. If that team is a 5 seed, shut down the Eastern Conference. Seriously, shut it down. Shut it down. Dissolve the Eastern Conference, and let's start bringing over the European teams. Let's start integrating them more into the league. Right? Let's get Barcelona over here. Let's get Real over here. Let's get some of those Greek teams, some of those Turkish teams. Let's start moving those teams in. Pacers starting 5. You think they start Nembhard with another guard, or do they just let it rock? Yes, the Celtics do have their pick. List all the teams that are better in the East. The net Celtics team I just described. Well, you got Knicks. You've got the Cavs, obviously. The Magic. The Hawks, I would say, certainly. The Pistons, almost certainly. I would even throw the Bucks in there, absolutely, with Giannis just by himself. Oh, man. All right. Am I missing someone? Am I missing an obvious one? Yeah, I think on paper this Pacers team looks better. I honestly, I think the Raptors, if they're healthy, are better, actually. The Sixers probably, I mean, if the Sixers aren't completely and totally devastated by injuries. What do you think about soft launching the European teams in the NBA Cup? I like the idea. If you're going to do an NBA thing, an NBA European League, it probably won't be soon, but let's start doing like a Champions League almost. All I'm saying is it would not surprise me at all. In fact, it's almost what I'm expecting. If by the trade deadline, the Celtics are like, this is a punted season, and now we're going to head towards the bottom just to see if we can get the best pick possible. So no, Tatum's not coming back. Maybe we trade Derek White, whatever. That is what I'm expecting to happen. If anything outside of that happens, I'll be shocked. So wait, do we think the Pacers start TJ? Or is it just going to be Nembhard? Who's going to be their starting center? Isaiah Jackson's actually pretty good. Is he like ready? When did he tear his Achilles? That was really early in the season, wasn't it? That was like super early. They start Jay Huff? Nembhard, Mathurin, Nesmith, Pascal, Jackson. Yeah, so I guess the thing I'm wondering is do they just go Nembhard as they're going to be our starting point guard? Or do they start him with the guard? Do they start him with like a TJ McConnell? Nembhard, Mathurin, Nesmith, Pascal, and Isaiah Jackson. That's actually genuinely not a half bad team. The Pacers should be better than the Celtics this year. That's really not a half bad team. And especially if you think you could get a like legitimate Nembhard leap. They're going to be interesting to watch. I'm actually kind of excited to see them, believe it or not. I'm excited to watch the Celtics for a different reason because I just think Jaylen Brown solo dolo is going to be something to watch. Pacers kind of have to punt too, though. Yeah, but like the Pacers might not be able to. I don't see like this horrible floor for them unless something happens to Pascal or something. Yeah, the Pacers have like serious depth. I mean, that was a huge strength of theirs last year too. And an important distinction here, young depth as well. Like Nesmith, Mathurin, Nembhard, even like Jarris Walker, Ben Shepherd. Like these are all guys that could even get better. Yeah, Nembhard's one of the more interesting players in the league this upcoming year. Depth, absolutely. Young depth, too. Important distinction. Because that's important. All right. On Friday, I'm going to roll out my own top 100 list. I'm of the belief if you're going to shit on a top 100 list, you better come with your own as well. I've got my own. I already made. Might make some tweaks to it. But this is NBA Rank 2025, ESPN's top 100 ranking. And I do believe ESPN's is a prediction to get the final NBA rank prediction. Yes. So they are kind of predicting what we will look at, what the top 100 players will be at the end of the season. In my opinion, this is how all top 100 lists should be. This is how all preseason top 100 lists should be. They should be predictive. So good on ESPN for that. It makes it more fun. It makes it more entertaining. So let's dive into it. I have titled, and I feel a little bit bad. I got to be real with you guys. I titled the stream ESPN's brutal or ESPN's terrible top 100 list. I haven't even looked at it. So, but I already know it's terrible. And my list will be terrible too. But that's what's fun about it. RJ Barrett, top is number 100. My God, they had him at 53 going into last season. What did they think was going to happen there? Yeah, this is about, I think on my list, did I have RJ ranked? I guess we'll find out soon. If I don't have RJ ranked, he's like literally right around number 100. So, yeah, okay. Stephon Castle, number 99. I think that's probably around where I had him too. I don't know if he made mine though. I don't think Stephon Castle, even though he did win Rookie of the Year, I did not think he was a top 100 player in the league last year. With all of their guards, will he get there? I don't know. They have the projection for RJ at 21, 6, and 5. I mean, that's a top 100 player, 100%. Like, that's kind of a crazy stat line. That's easily a top 100 player if he gets that. Walker Kessler at 98. So I was high on Walker Kessler. Kind of higher on him than this, and I might dock him a little bit because I was talking with Nick about it, and I don't know if that made the podcast, but he said David Locke, who hosts Locked On Jazz, was shocked people had Walker Kessler in their top 100 in a bad way. Never good when someone who watches every game says that. So, yeah. But I mean, if he averages 10.5, 11 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks. Peyton Pritchard at 97. I was higher on him than this. I'll just tell you that much. Nick Alexander Walker, I had right around 100. I think this is fair for him. Whoa, okay. I don't think I know the Mavericks one. I did not know PJ was in here. All right. Okay. That's surprising to me. And I think absolutely well-deserving of a top 100 mention is PJ Washington. So good for him. He gets in here. I love it. Devin Vassell? This pains me. You guys know, if you've watched me for any extended period of time, I have been a Devin Vassell, hold steady on Devin Vassell. I've been a Devin Vassell truther for years. I think I've picked him to win most improved player at least twice, maybe even 3 times. Yeah. I don't know if I can get there with him, personally. I don't know if I can get there with him. Just wildly inconsistent on top of wildly inconsistent play on the court paired with wild unavailability, just not being out there. I don't know if I can in good faith say he's a top 100 player. Jakob Poeltl, yeah, I think I had him a little bit higher than this. If he's healthy and playing, he's better than this, I think. Mitchell Robinson, yeah. Drew Holiday. Oh, nothing too crazy here. Wow, okay, Naz Reid at 90 feels low. But this is about where I had him too. I was actually thinking, and did I end up putting the Naz Reid extension in my overrated signings? I think that extension has a chance of not being good, personally. Right? I think it's a lot to pay a guy like Naz Reid. Personally, but he still is a good player. Wiggins, okay, so Zach Edey. Okay. Timeout. Zach Edey, I have a problem with. I'm sorry, I don't think Zach Edey's a top 100 player in the league. I don't. I'm willing to be wrong on that. I don't think he's a top 100 player in the league. Jonas Valanciunas. What? I'm sorry. What? Is Jonas Valanciunas a top 100 player in the league? Are we crazy? This one to me is like a what? And I kind of respect Valanciunas' game and what he brings to the table, but like top 100? And not even top 100, but like top 90? Nuggets tax, well, they had him at 91 before the season, or before last season. No. I mean, I think like Naz Reid is better than Jonas Valanciunas, 100%. Mitchell Robinson is 100% better than Valanciunas. Jakob Poeltl is 1,000% better than Valanciunas. Like, think about that for a second, bro. They have Valanciunas at a Jakob Poeltl. What? What? I mean, what could possibly even be the argument there? What's up with these guys that have these shirts on? Him and Castle. What is that? Oh, in NBA PA. Oh, is this when they were free agents or something? Bradley Beal. I don't think I had Bradley Beal in my top 100. I get putting him there. I just don't think he's reaching that point where it's like, for Bradley Beal to really be effective, he needs the ball in his hands a bunch. He's really not going to defend. But then if you watch him, it's like his numbers look good. But if you watch him, how much does he actually impact the game? Is it the level of a top 100 player? I don't think so anymore. Jay Ivey, I love that. I think I have him in my top 100. I love that. Good on you, ESPN. I love it. Big year for Jay Ivey coming up. I like that. Toby, some Tobias Harris love. I love that. Tobias Harris defenders. Don't kill me, but I think RJ greater than Beal. I mean, that feels like a very reasonable take at this point in time. Jonathan Kuminga? Why? What? So you didn't rank him going into last year, but you're going to rank him this year? I don't understand that. I think I'd rather have every single player listed so far, maybe instead of like Beal, and even then I'd have to think about it, than Kuminga. I'm not a Kuminga guy whatsoever. So that, full disclosure, I am not a Kuminga guy at all. Maybe if they're saying like, yeah, we don't think he'll be on the Warriors, we think he'll be on like the Kings and he'll have a bigger role. Okay, maybe I see that. Norm Powell, all right. Nembhard feels kind of low, maybe. We'll see. I don't know where I had Nembhard. DeMar at 80. Yeah, DeMar is one of the hardest players to rank. I mean, that's just the truth. Because it's DeMar, Brandon Ingram, Zach LaVine. They all sort of fall into this clump together. And I think in my list, they are all really close together. They all kind of fall into this clump where it's like, they're good, they're talented. You know they're good when you're watching them. But do you want them on your team? Not really. Does anyone really want these guys on their team? I don't think so. I think the market kind of shows that as well. Besides BI, I guess. Onyeka Okongwu at 79. God damn. Paul at the 2. Slightly biased equals Kuminga guy. You heard it here. Guys, that's a lie. I'm not a Jonathan Kuminga guy. And I just want to reiterate, guys, I am not a Jonathan Kuminga guy. Okongwu is actually interesting, and I'm only saying this because, and this actually is reinvigorating me because I had Okongwu in my top 100, and I think I still do. I had Okongwu in my top 100, and I thought, is this a little too out there? But them having him at 79, all right, I respect that 100%. I think Okongwu's for sure, at least in the conversation as a top 100 player. And you're doing some projecting, obviously. Because did it say it? Yeah, he became the starter on January 20th. So he only became the starter halfway through the season. Toumani Camara? No, this feels about right for Camara. Brandon Ingram at 77. So like I said, BI, DeRozan, I'm assuming Zach LaVine's right around here as well. All kind of in a similar breadth, in my opinion. Brandon Ingram, yeah. It's like it's who would I rather have on the Mavericks? I'd rather have Toumani Camara. But I understand Brandon Ingram's a better basketball player than Toumani Camara. If that makes sense. More skilled, at least. So, Brandon Miller, I have him. I'll just spoil it a little bit. I have Brandon Miller high on my list. I'm really in on him. I'm a big believer of his. Last year was super injured. But just in the tiny tiny stretch of games we got from him last year, his playmaking looks so much improved. I'm a huge believer of Brandon Miller's, and I'm hopeful he stays healthy this season because I think he's going to be awesome. And I think if he is healthy and playing, he'll be way higher than this. Jaden McDaniels at 75. I feel like he's one of those guys you always want to rank higher, but then you get to it and you're just like, yeah. Jabari at 74. D-Live at 73. I didn't know D-Live was on this list. Hell yeah. My God, they had him at 56 going into last year. Jesus Christ. Wow, they were really high on him. All right. Yeah, I mean, I had D-Live. The Locked On list did not have Derek Lively in it, which I couldn't believe. I had D-Live right around here as well. I think he's going to be awesome. If he's healthy and playing, I think he's going to be so awesome. I think he's going to be so awesome for the team. He was ahead of Cade infamously. Oh, I think I do vaguely remember that. Yeah, here's Levine. Again, kind of in the same area. Kobe White. Yeah, this feels fair for him. Michael Porter Jr., 70. I'm going to be honest with you. Feels high. Feels high, honestly. Josh Hart at 69. Timeout. No. No. Just no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No way. Under no circumstances. Absolutely no. Clearly not. Obviously not. Obviously no. I don't have Josh Hart in mind, personally. I do respect what he does. I do respect what he brings to the table. But I can't help but just feel like after the playoffs watching where it felt like at times you have to get Josh Hart off the floor. That just always leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Tyler Hero at 68 immediately feels low. Like I'll say this, Tyler Hero only being one spot ahead of Josh Hart seriously feels like we're about to see some ugly shit coming up here. Cam Johnson at 67. Okay. Yeah, all right. Denny Avdia at 66. Yeah. Yeah, he was awesome last year. Aaron Nesmith at 65. Okay. I Nesmith top 100, yeah, for sure. Do we think Nesmith is that much better than Nembhard? I don't know about that. He was so fucking 50% in the playoffs last year from 3. Yeesh. Lou Dort, yeah, it's about where I have him, I think. LaMelo at 63. Obviously, a healthy LaMelo is way better than the 63rd player in the league, but I am kind of in the same boat where it's like, how the fuck do you rank this guy? He's never, ever healthy. Christian Brown is 62. Feels really high. But where do I have Christian Brown, though? Because I remember whenever I was doing my ranking, Christian Brown ended up being super high. Way higher than I was at least expecting it to be. Let's see. No spoilers. I had him at 72. Zion at 61. Zion is hard as well. I'll give him that. Zion is hard. I had Zion. Well, I'm not going to tell you where I had Zion. Christian Brown's a borderline top 100 player. I think he's a top 100 player comfortably based off last year. I mean, when you project Zion, it's like you either have him high or don't have him at all. You get what I'm saying? Reeves at 60. So, all right. Here's an interesting one. I mean, Tyler Hero is just flat out a better player than Austin Reeves is, right? I mean, that's not even really up for debate, is it? Tyler Hero is just flat out better as a player than Austin Reeves. I don't know how many people would even question that. Suggs feels kind of high for Suggs, if I'm being real with you. Trey Murphy at 58 feels kind of high for Trey Murphy, if I'm being real with you again. Miles Turner at 57. Yeah, feels a little tiny bit high to me as well. Isaiah Hartenstein at 56. That feels fair. He's around top 50. Dyson Daniels 55. That feels fair as well. Paul George at 54. Yeah, actually. So like a difference between like a Paul George and a Zion. Because I was just saying, well, Zion, like you either have to rank him high or not rank him at all. Because if he's playing, he's clearly a top 20 player in the league. Paul George, I think there's enough to be a little concerned about based off of where he was last year as a player, his age, and his injuries. So if you're doing a predictive list, I don't think it's unreasonable to be like, I don't think Paul George will be like a top 70 player in the league this year. I just think he's entering this phase, which is really quite sad for the Sixers if true. Caruso all the way up at 53. Okay, yeah. There's Flag at 52. Man, they're high on Flag. That's high. 52 is high. We've already done this on Locked On. I have Flag at 66 in my rankings. 52 is high, man. Hey, salute. Salute. They have him projected. If Flag averages this year one, bro, they have him projected at 19.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists a game. If he averages that year one, if Cooper Flag averages 19.5, 6 rebounds, and somebody clip this and post it. If Flag averages 19.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 4.5 assists a game this upcoming season, I will wear a Cooper Flag jersey every single day the month he wins Rookie of the Year. Every single day. That would be incredible. Draymond at 51. Yeah. Where's the next one? Which 10 players can crack next year's list? Dylan Harper? Yeah. Con Knipple? Sure. Klingon? I thought about having Klingon in mine. Ricochet? I do have Ricochet in mine. Spoiler alert. I have Asar in mine as well. Khalil Ware? Josh Giddey's not on their list at all? Really? Herb Jones did not make their list? Podzimski? Must be watching different players. Where's the... Have they done the next one? Please tell me. Oh, here we go. Oh, they haven't done the top 10 yet. God damn it, ESPN. Why do you drag this shit out, man? KP at 50. Hard player to rank for sure. Gobert at 49. He's losing a step. Embiid all the way down to 47. It's kind of a similar thing to Zion. If you're going to rank them, you almost have to rank them high. Yeah, okay. So they have Jonas Valanciunas over Herb Jones. Well, I mean, what is going on with the Jonas Valanciunas selection? What is going on there? Am I missing something entirely? Jalen Johnson at 44. Whoa. All right. I like it. I like it. This is actually lower than where I have him, but I didn't think that they would have him there. Lowry dropping down to 43. With that contract, Amin Thompson at 37 feels a little high, but I think that's around where I have him. They're making that Amin Thompson push, and I'm right there with them. Zion's in the 60s. Zubats. It really doesn't feel like a bad list. See, okay, Ja at 33 feels really low. I mean, if he's playing, like, what's the argument against him not being a top 20 player? Right? Am I tripping? Jaren Jackson Jr. over Ja Morant? Timeout. Timeout. Fundamentally disagree. Fundamentally disagree. Scotty Barnes at 30 feels really high. That feels actually kind of crazy high. Am I just sleeping on Scotty this year? I did the whole Scotty thing last year, I think. Trey at 29. What was wasn't the Ringers one like absurd with him? Tyrese Maxey. Do we think Tyrese Maxey's better than Ja Morant? Do we think Tyrese Maxey's better than Trae Young? Personally, I don't believe that. Derek White at 26. That feels really high. Feels really, really high. Şengün and Chet went ahead. This is actually a dilemma. This exact duo right here was a dilemma I was having. Chet or Şengün, which one should be higher? And I ended up going, spoiler alert, I ended up going Şengün over Chet. I did end up going Şengün over Chet. But that one was the exact pause I had. Was Şengün or Chet? Which one would you rather have? Now, there is a world. If you want to do a predictive list and you're fucking planting your flag that Chet is going to have an offensive breakout season, I am planting my flag. This is going to happen this year. I can 100% see it. No, I would say it's a dilemma. If you think Chet's going to have this offensive breakout, yeah. I 100% see Chet's probably in the top 20, I would say. But I'm a little bit more hesitant on that 100% happening. And I do think we'll see another Şengün leap. I mean, why not? He's still young. Why would he not continue to get better? Harden at 23, yeah, that feels about right. Siakam at 22, that feels right. Really not a bad list. Honest to God, guys, the Jonas Valanciunas inclusion to me is mind-blowing. I don't understand what is going on there. But outside of that, really not a half bad list. Bam at 21. Bamonte, man. You guys know I love Bam so much. Kawhi at 20. Yeah, that feels right. That feels right. I really was a little bit let down by his playoff performance. Jaylen Brown at 19. That seems a little high to me personally, but I just wasn't, and maybe guys correct me if I'm wrong. I just really did not think Jaylen Brown was that great last year. I thought it was a bit of a letdown, Jaylen Brown season, coming off of the final MVP. I thought it was a bit of a letdown season. And I'm just not really that sure what we're going to see this year is going to be good. I will say I like marked it down. Jaylen Brown. Hold on a second. And did I miss some? Jimmy Butler is about to be absurdly high on this. Jimmy Butler is about to be absolutely insanely fucking high. Yeah, Jimmy at 18 is insane. That is crazy. That is crazy. To me, that is insane, man. No chance. No chance at all is he this high. I mean, what? All right, let me list off some names here. Stop me when you hear a player you'd rather have Jimmy Butler than. Okay? Alperen Şengün, Chet Holmgren, Pascal Siakam, Karl Anthony Towns, Bam Adebayo, Jaren Jackson, Jaylen Brown, De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Maxey. Wait, who'd you guys... You'd rather have Jimmy over Pascal? No way. Did we see the same Jimmy Butler in the playoffs last year? That was concerning. To me, that was alarming. Paolo at 17, yeah. D-Book at 16. Donovan Mitchell at 15. Okay. AD at 14. Timeout. That's too low. That's too low. Just is. That's too low, Witzke. Evan Mobley. And look, if you're doing a predictive thing and you're really banking on a Mobley breakout, I won't argue with you on this, personally. I mean, I love Cade, so I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. I'm just not going to do it. 11? 11? What? What? The 11th best player in the league. What? Okay, so they either have Kyrie top 10 or Kyrie's not on this list. And I'll assume he's not on this list, actually, because we didn't get a Damian Lillard, who's still, if Damian Lillard, he's still a top 100 player easily, right? I'll just assume we're not getting a Tyrese Halliburton. Like, I'm trying to think who's left. Who hasn't been mentioned yet? So they're going to have LeBron in the top 10, obviously. They're going to have Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Shea, Ant, Wemby, Brunson, KD, Steph. Oh, it already said no Hallie, Kyrie, Tatum, Fred VanVleet, and Dame. Okay. All right. That's fair. Yeah, Dwight Powell robbed. Well, I wish they had the top 10 done. Okay, J-Dub. And you guys know I'm like a J-Dub defender. I've been high on him. You guys have gotten mad at me for how high I've been on him at times. 11 is too high. 11 is saying a lot. No, they had Book at like 15 or something like that. They had Book at 16, which is about right, I think. Somewhere in that range. Now, Booker was a couple spots behind AD. I mean, like, if you're saying someone's like the 11th best player, you are basically saying they're like they're a top 10 player, basically, is what you're saying. I don't think J-Dub is in that conversation. Now, it is a predictive list, to be fair. It is a predictive list. I do think, I'd say the chances of like Chet having a breakout and then becoming, like surpassing J-Dub, to me, is more likely a scenario than J-Dub having like another breakout and then finding himself in like the top 10 range. Yeah, I agree with you, Varun. I was spoiled it, but like Chet's ahead of J-Dub in my predictive rankings, personally. Just because you have Chet does play DPOI level defense. He does. If it weren't for Victor Wembanyama being someone who existed. So, I don't know. All in all, I would say, though, really not horrible. Now, let's see where the top 10 takes us. Let's see where the top 10 leaves us out at, because I'm sure there will be something egregious there. How is Paolo that high? Paolo, though, is like, again, for these predictive rankings, you see it with him. I know the efficiency stuff with Paolo isn't there, and I know the efficiency stuff with Paolo is at a point where it's like, like historically speaking, guys who are putting up efficiency like this, sometimes they just don't get there. They never like break the seal, really. Break through the barrier, the efficiency barrier. But then you watch Paolo play, and it's a completely different story. You watch Paolo play, and it's like, oh yeah, I see it. I see 100% what this is supposed to be and what this could be. So my biggest gripes, I mean, J-Dub at 11 feels crazy to me. I think Jimmy is way too high. Way too high. Like absurdly high. I think D-White's pretty high. I mean, that feels really high to me. Top 26 player? I don't know about that. I feel like they got all this range they got right. No, Darius Garland was here at 38. The Jonas Valanciunas one, I'm trying to think, is the Jonas Valanciunas inclusion on this list the most absurd one? What? Like, and then you guys, it's clicks. Like, what? Like, putting Jonas Valanciunas your top 100 list is not generating you clicks. Maybe it is because of the absurdity, but it's not like, I doubt they had their meeting like, all right, guys, we need to generate buzz here. We need to generate some clicks on this. What are we thinking? I know it. I know what'll get the people going. Jonas Valanciunas. Jonas Valanciunas will get the people going. Jonas or Gafford? Great question, Joe. Great question. Gafford is clearly better than Jonas Valanciunas. Like, Jonas Valanciunas isn't even the best backup center in the league. They might have had a criteria on how many each position they had to include. Even if that's the case, how does Jonas Valanciunas make it? And then, okay, how is Jonas Valanciunas ahead of Jakob Poeltl? I mean, what on earth is the logic there? How on earth is Jonas Valanciunas better than Jakob Poeltl? Just insanity. Just absolute insanity. Oh, and then also, like, no Nick Claxton? Like, Claxton is a much better player than Jonas Valanciunas. I know he's on the Nets. I know he was hurt and had a kind of a disappointing year last year, but Claxton is just fundamentally a much better player than Jonas Valanciunas. Fuck, man. I'd say like Ayton's better. I'd say Klingon's better. I'd say Gafford for sure is better. What other centers do we like miss out on this list? Like, I'd rather have, Klingon, I think, is better than Valanciunas. Steven Adams, yeah. What up, B-Dot? Powell's like a big two-way version of all those DeMar, Zach LaVine types. Yeah, D-Live was on here and like pretty high. Like, I cannot believe D-Live was not on the Locked On list. I mean, what? I don't understand it at all. Alex Sarr. Yeah, Alex Sarr almost made my top 100. He might have, actually. You know, I really don't get it. And I think in I want to say every single Locked On host submitted theirs. So it's a lot. It's a pretty big sample. I think there is so much anti-Mavs like feelings going around that it's like, how on earth could you not look at Derek Lively, especially when you're looking at like Locked On hosts who like to think that they're plugged in and ball knowers, kind of like we'll make some nerdy picks here and there. How the fuck is Derek Lively not in your list? Like how? What was your pre-draft opinion on Reed Shepherd? Honest to God, I don't remember at all. They did not have Reese Shea, I don't think. Opinions on the Pat Bev Trae Young thing? Are you trolling me right now? Is that a troll? I like the Jaden Ivey inclusion. Of course, my guy Tobias Harris, I'm a ride for. Yeah, that's true. Locked On, you did have like people who didn't rank guys. Well, Nick was telling me that you had guys who were just like, I'm not ranking rookies. Like, I'm just fundamentally not ranking rookies. So you had those guys. And then, yeah, I don't think there was a rule of, this guy's like, we need to project that they'll play a certain number of games. Does that make sense? So like my top 100 list, Tatum, Halliburton, I'm not including. Dame, I'm not including. Like anyone who I was like, they're not playing this season. They're out. But like I included Kyrie because he's going to play this year. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to have to take Fred VanVleet out. Where did I have Fred VanVleet? Some people are mad their teams didn't get a shot at Luka, so they spite the Mavs. Well, again, I just think it's easy. Like, it's just easy. It's easy to shit on the Mavs right now. It's like a guaranteed win. You know what I mean? Like nobody's really gonna push back. I had Fred VanVleet 60th, and now he's gone. Goodbye, soldier. Here were Locked On guys I didn't rank. So here are guys in the Locked On list that I did not have in my list. Anthony Simons. How did Anthony Simons end up in the top 100? What? CJ McCollum I did not have in mind. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was right on the cusp. And actually with Fred VanVleet out, who slides to my 100 spot? Okay. All right. Yeah, Simons made the list. I when Nick told me that, I was like, what? Bradley Beal, I did not put in my top 100. Vucevic, I do not have in my top 100. Emmanuel Quickley, I did not have in my top 100. I like my list. I like my list quite a bit. Might as well throw Flight in the voting process. No Flight. Monte Ellis is not in the league anymore. Vooch better than Big Val? Yeah, true. Vucevic is better than Valanciunas. Sar. Like, I'm just thinking about it. Looking at some of these centers I have. Claxton, like, what? I didn't even write down Valanciunas as a name. Jalen Duren. Like, who's better, Jalen Duren or Valanciunas? Definitely, if you're going based off of like the last few months of the season, definitely Duren. Beef stew, yeah. I mean, fuck. Who would you rather have this upcoming season? Maluach? Where was Jared Allen? Oh, they had him in the top 50. I can't shake 2 playoffs in a row like that out of my mind. Jamarion Sharp. PJ's in my top 100. Yeah, remember I had 6 Mavericks in my top 100. And honestly, and I'm gonna be real, and I'm gonna be 100% real with you. And I think you guys know this. I usually try not to do that. I usually try to avoid that. But it just ended up kind of working out that way. Did they have Drew Holiday on this list? Okay, they did. So they bias much, yeah. If the Nets win a title next year, where does MPJ rank all time? Top 1. If MPJ leads the Nets to a title next year, it is the greatest single like athlete achievement in the history of sports. No, I ranked Kyrie. So it's 6 guys, including Kyrie. Well, that's what we'll do on Friday, all right? Friday, we'll do the slightly biased top 100. That's what our Friday plans will be. All right, folks, thank you all for tuning in. It was a fun stream. We're back in the swing of things. I am going to miss our video game streams, but I'm excited to start talking about basketball again. I hadn't like felt anything really about the upcoming NBA season. I've been doing I've been watching a lot of football. I really have been. I did me and my friends, we started a chopped league last night. I've been thinking about it. I've heard people talking about it, and I was like, is it too late to get in on one of those? I want to do a chopped league, a guillotine league, where it's like a fantasy. You draft your team, and you don't play anybody, but you set your lineup. The lowest score in the league each week gets kicked out. The lowest score in the league gets kicked out of the league, and all of their players go onto the waiver wire. And you have $1,000 fab budget to spend on the waiver wire. Really fun idea. I'm excited. I was pick 18 of mine. I'm still surviving. Oh, well, we did like doing it in the middle of the season made it 10 times harder, actually, believe it or not, because you got to the end of the draft and it was like, I already know these guys are shit. Or at least early in the season, you can like talk yourself into certain players. But now that we're like a few weeks in, it's like, I know all of these guys are terrible. So like Tom Brady got picked in the draft. Des Bryant was my last pick. Adrian Peterson got picked. Like it got to the point where it was like, there's nobody worth having. It was a 14-man league. Predictor bias. Will Dart be good? He's going to be a really interesting case study. I feel like sometimes remember this happened with Daniel Jones immediately. Like these guys come in and they're just such a breath of fresh air that it's like, yeah, this guy's the truth no matter what. And he's got that swag about him. He's got the drip. He almost kind of looks too cool to fail, and he almost kind of has a name that's too cool to fail. Jackson Dart. But then at the same time, close your eyes and imagine it. He's wearing the 4 or 5 diamond out chains. He's got the one eye black thing. He's got the visor. Is there any chance this kid's actually fucking good for the New York Giants? Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Next to no chance. So anyways, Friday we'll be doing the top 100 list. What's the coolest name that failed? Well, the first name that came to my mind, and rest in peace, is Fab Melo. Right? Rest in peace. But Fab Melo was an awesome name. I don't know why that was the first one that popped in my brain. All right, folks, thank you all for tuning in. All the OGs, you guys know them very much. Could have spent your Wednesday afternoon anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that. It helps out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you haven't watched the video I dropped yesterday, go check it out. Leave a like, all of that good shit. I'll talk to you all on Friday. I'm going on Locked On later.